Are you ready to transform your normal e-commerce business into one that experiences exponential growth year after year using online advertising? If so, this show is for you. Me and my guests will show you how you too can grow your e-commerce business to 7 or even 8 figures so you can go on more luxurious vacations, spoil yourself and your family, say yes to more opportunities, and become financially free so you never have to worry about money again. Welcome to the E-commerce Performance Marketing Show. Welcome back to another episode of the E-com Performance Marketing Show. So in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about the typical key performance indicators that businesses and marketers focus on and talk about when it comes to running Facebook ads. There's usually a lot of questions around these specific KPIs I'm going to cover in this episode. So I'm going to cover these. This way I can educate you on how to really focus on KPIs in your Facebook advertising the right way, not the wrong way. So we're going to talk about specifically how do you judge the effectiveness of your Facebook ads and how do they compare to other businesses running Facebook ads. So let me just nip this in the bud real quick. So first off, you cannot compare your business to other businesses that are not in the same market selling the same stuff, okay? That's like comparing apples to oranges. And every business has different measurements when it comes to their key performance indicators from their Facebook ads. What I mean by that is this. So let's just say that you're wondering, what is a good cost per lead on Facebook? Well, that's not a universal question. That's a very individual question. Each business has a different CPL that's right for them on Facebook ads or any advertising channel. And so you really can't ask that question in a universal way. You can say, in my market for my type of business, what's a good CPL? That's more of a good question to ask if someone has experience running Facebook ads or another ad channel with your type of business that's selling the same stuff or similar stuff to the same or a similar market. But like I said before, every business has a different cost per lead that they can associate with their business that they also can substantiate with their Facebook advertising. And how you calculate that is you first need to know what's your earnings per lead. And a lot of businesses don't know this. But you should definitely get this report in your business right away. So this way you know how much you're earning per lead on a consistent basis and how much you can afford to pay for a lead. So for example, what we do is we run a 90-day rolling EPL, earnings per lead. And you can set this up very, very easily with Shopify, for example. You could have Shopify and Zapier and Google Sheets work together to report this on a consistent basis every single week. It's very, very fairly easy, simple to do. Has a little bit of some tech implementation required, but honestly, it's not that hard to do, and you could hire a freelancer for very, very cheap and get them to run that system. But basically, you would have the last 90 days revenue that value pushed to a Google Sheet, and then you would have the number of leads generated also in your business pushed to a Google Sheet as well. And again, this is all possible with Zapier because Zapier is like the jack of all trades. It connects all software to each other, so it's totally doable. And then you could have that Google Sheet automatically do the math and calculate with my 90-day revenue divided by my 90-day number of leads, that's my earnings per lead. And then once you know your earnings per lead, now you know how much you can afford to pay for a lead that makes sense because you're seeing how much you're earning per lead from that specific calculation and that Google Sheet being updated on a weekly basis ideally. And again, it's running it for the previous 90-day rolling period, okay? So that's why asking a question like that, like what's a good cost per lead on Facebook, it's not a good question to ask because every business is different. Unless you're trying to get a comparison between your business and maybe a business that's selling the same product to the same market. Okay, this also goes into some of the other KPIs too. Like for example, this question also comes up quite a bit and has come up for a long time. What's a good cost per click on Facebook? Well, again, it's not a universal question to ask because then you're setting your business up to be compared apples to oranges, which isn't a good comparison anyway. Instead, you want to do the same thing, and you want to identify what's your earnings per click average. And you could do that in a similar way. You wouldn't be able to automate that between Shopify and Zapier, but you could definitely like take a look at what your earnings per lead is by pulling data manually from your Facebook ads reporting and pulling, let's just say your 90-day revenue figure from Facebook into a Google Sheet, and then also pulling your number of clicks from Facebook ads reporting and putting it into a Google Sheet as well for the same 90-day period. And then you could take that total revenue divided by the total clicks, and that's going to be your earnings per click. And then once you know your earnings per click, now you know, okay, I can now come up with a cost per click benchmark to shoot for when it comes to my Facebook advertising. See how that works? So that's how you really take a look at the KPIs in your Facebook advertising the right way, not the wrong way. And that's how you think through, what is a good cost per click or a good cost per lead that I should be aiming for with my Facebook advertising. Because every business is different, and every business is going to have different ideal CPCs and CPLs when it comes to Facebook advertising, because every business has different revenue to report. Okay. Now, CTR, click-through rate, that's a more standard key performance indicator. So there isn't some sort of individualized focus on that when it comes to each and every business having a different CTR. So really the CTR when it comes to Facebook advertising is at least a 1% CTR. I, however, always like to really push for at least a 3% CTR because if you shoot for a 3% plus, then you're going to hit closer to 2% at the lowest when it comes to your creatives that you use in your Facebook advertising campaigns. Plus, on top of that, when you have a 3% plus CTR, it really helps with your CPC. It really helps with your ad being shown to more people, which helps you get more and more results. So it's really good to aim for like a higher CTR in your creative. So that's what I aim for. However, 1% minimum, 3% ideal. That's what I like to shoot for. Okay. So those are like some of the specific KPIs a lot of people always have questions about when it comes to their Facebook advertising. And I've heard that question about, what's the cost per click I should be getting from Facebook, or what's a good cost per click on Facebook, or what's a good cost per lead on Facebook. I've heard that question so many times over the past 5+ years. So I just felt like I had to address it because I know that a lot of you guys that are watching or listening to this show, you guys are learning Facebook advertising, and I want you to learn it the right way. And I want you to think of Facebook advertising and the KPIs in association with Facebook advertising the right way as well. So with that said, what you should do is you should definitely click on the link below to get access to my ecom success toolkit, because in there you'll be able to get access to tools that will help you calculate this stuff in your business. And I even give you video walkthroughs on how to use the tools in this tool set that I can give you for free. So click on that link below, get access to that. I definitely recommend it. This way you can adopt some of my proven successful practices that I've had for nearly 8 years running my agency and coaching my coaching students in the ARM5 Formula Accelerator. So definitely check it out below. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode. Be sure to tune in for the next several episodes. We've got some exciting guests coming up, and we've got some exciting topics also to end 2020 on, and also to help you position 2021 to be your best year yet. So thank you again for watching the show and listening to it. I appreciate it. Tune in next time. Thank you for tuning into the e-commerce performance marketing show. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, like, and comment with a timestamp of your favorite part and share it with a friend. Until our next episode, here's to you and the success of your e-commerce business.